Hey, this is Kurt Doherty with CNC Machines. Thanks for coming and watching this video. I'm going to show you how to make a Fadal look great, get it ready for market. It's a 16-year-old machine, so lots of years of use. Good bones though, runs really good. We're going to make it look good, get it ready so we can sell it quick. I'm going to show you some of the materials that we actually use to get it ready. Most important, get it cleaned up. This is ZEP Commercial Industrial Degreaser. This stuff works really, really good. We just use some terry cloths. We wipe it down really good. For the bare metal, like the way covers, the table, just basic industrial Scotch-Brite, you can get it at Home Depot. You can pretty much get it anywhere. This stuff's pretty rampant, but you want to try to buy the bulk version. We actually get ours at Sam's. Down here below, once you kind of got your machine cleaned up and ready, we go to a compounding and polish system. 3M is our industrial grade. It works really, really good. We use a 10-inch buffing wheel. On the paint, we try not to repaint as much as possible. Just touching up, quick cleanup, and get it back to market. Cheap and time efficient. McGuire's also makes some really good stuff, but this is more off the shelf, like if you go to Walmart, AutoZone, things like that. If you run into some really tough stuff on the machine, like paint that's been sitting on there for years, this Goo Gone works really, really good. Goof Off also works good. I don't have any at the moment, but pretty much the same thing. Rubbing alcohol is a good option. We don't use it often, but it does work. As far as polishing up metal, sometimes like handles, things like that, this stuff works really, really good. We use this actually on tooling as well. Shines stuff up really, really good. It's called White Diamond. A little expensive, but it goes a pretty long way and lasts a good while. For the windows, if they're not really cracked or gouged too bad, this system here is called Novice. It's a 3-2-1 system. You can get it on Amazon. Works really good to take out all those years of little nicks from the chips hitting the window. And of course, we always have a little bit of paint on hand. This is your touch-up paint and also a little bit of spray paint. Again, we try to stay away from it as much as possible, but every used machine's got some nicks in the paint, so we like to touch them up, make them look good. But at the end of the day, try to keep it all original. So let me go ahead and go over to the machine here. I'm going to show you what we're going to actually do. So as you can see, I want you to come up here a little closer. Just years and years of use. You can see lots of dirt. You can see this tape that's been sitting on there for years. Somebody actually wrote with a marker on there. That's really tough stuff to get off, but we got a process to remove that to make it look all original. The tag or the Fadal sticker here looks pretty good. In some cases we do replace those. Try not to if we can stay away from it. But overall looks pretty good on this side. Let's go down here to the plate. This stainless steel plate's real dull, real gringy, real grimy. We can actually make that look like brand new all over again. Right now it's kind of dull. Let's see the doors. Overall the doors seem to be rolling pretty well. The plastic on the doors is in good shape. I mean, obviously it's real dirty, but I don't see any major cracks or gouges that says we have to replace them. If we do have to replace them, it's pretty basic. It's either 1/4 or 3/8 thick, depending on the machine. You can get it at Home Depot in a 4x8 sheet. I think they're about 170 bucks if you got to recut them and put them in. But these look pretty good. I think we're gonna actually salvage these. We'll shine those handles up, make it look real good. You can see here on the other side of the machine, obviously lots of fingerprints, lots of dirt. We'll get rid of all that. The controls are typically pretty dirty when we get them in. You can just see here, especially on the control, if you can get a side shot there, just years and years of punching keypads. But none are missing. They all seem to be working real well. Nothing sticks. So I think the key panel is pretty good. We just got to clean these up. You can see here on the top even, it's just really nasty stuff. But that's all pretty easy to clean. The dials, you look over here at the dials. Dials are all working really well, just dirty, gringy. We'll get all this cleaned up and make it look like $1 million bucks. But the key is not put a lot of money into these older machines. They don't sell for a whole lot, so by the time you rig them in, clean them up, get them back out, you can't spend a lot of time or money on them. So I'll show you some quick tips how to get this done. All right, thanks guys. Hey guys, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and degrease the whole machine top to bottom. We already put a little bit of touch-up paint on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my ZEP. most of it off, a good amount, but you can see here definitely left some residue from the tape. Got some more up top here, and most of the dirt kind of came off here. Let's get this side here. You can see most of that starting to come off now. I'll leave that other side so people can see it, the difference when we're all done. Okay, and now that we've already cleaned the surface, now we need to get off some of this tape residue. We'll try to get off some of this lettering here from a marker that somebody put on there, but I think that compound is going to be more effective than that. But you can see a little bit more tape here, some tape here, so. Some more down here. Yeah, it's coming off real nice. Let's see. I don't see any more. Looks pretty good. All right, next we're going to do the compound. All right, guys, next step is we're going to use a compound, rubbing compound. It's industrial grade made by 3M. This is my buffer here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of this, stick it on the pad. Go ahead and rub it around a little bit so it doesn't sling everywhere. One of our secrets that we use is we actually use water. It helps that compound move nice and freely over the paint versus drying out real quick. See if we can get that lettering out. It's coming. Getting close. Try not to get the labels too much. It's okay if you touch on them, but if they're starting to peel up at all, you'll start ripping up your labels. This one's pretty well settled. What I want to do is try to get around them as much as possible. Inside the A, in between them. see there, it's actually peeling up the D a little bit. I gotta be careful around there. I'm going to put a little more compound where the marking is. Anytime somebody uses permanent marker or any kind of marker, it usually takes a little bit extra work, but looks like it's coming out pretty good. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the doors here. There should be enough compound still on the pad to finish that out. Okay. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and wipe down some of the compound and get it off. All right, next is polish. Okay, and last step is the polish. Actually, between takes, went ahead and cleaned this window as well. So that's actually the original window. But I'll show you more at the end when we do the final detail. Same thing, put a little water on there. Helps make it go a lot farther. Okay. And that's the polishing section. And the last little bit is actually WD-40. We can go ahead and use the spray bottles. What we'll do is go ahead and spray some WD-40 down on the stainless steel and go with the grain. It's very important you go with that grain. If you go against it, it'll make the scratches look definitely off. This one's left to right. Gives it a nice shine. I'm just going to do halfway here so you guys can see the before and after. Even do this little bar up here for the doors. Around the bolts. Okay, let me grab a towel. Okay. A little bit more right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay guys, so now we're going to go ahead and work on the control. We're going to use our ZEP industrial cleaner. I got some already mixed up in a solution here. It's pretty powerful stuff, so you definitely want to water it down, follow the directions. But I'm just going to go ahead, instead of spraying the control itself, you can run into a lot of problems that way. I'm just going to spray some here right on the rag. Let's soak in a little bit. And then just gently just wipe across these keys. You don't want to push them in too hard. You'll start creating problems for yourself, but you just want to kind of gently wipe across the keys. Let that degreaser really start getting in there. It'll start working for you. Get across the top there. Let's put a little more on the rag. And if you go work a corner, helps you kind of get up in the top there, the top of the keys as well. Yeah, these are pretty dirty. Really, to get back in there under the ledge, there's a little key grabber. I don't have it here with me. You can actually pop these out. That's really the best way if you really want to get in there, but this is just kind of a quick, easy way to get most of the keys cleaned up. dials a little bit. Okay. I'll make sure you get back behind the emergency button, get that nice bright yellow popping again. Wipe the screen down. That screen nice and clean, get up and around the edges. Last but not least, the hand dial here. You can see a lot of dirt and grime kind of wedged up underneath there from all the years. Just want to kind of get some degreaser up in there, get around the dial. It's nice too if you can just grab it and just kind of roll it into the rag there. It'll help kind of clean it up. Let's get this edge cleaned up too. I've probably taken off 20 years of usage here. And some of the stuff you really gotta work to get it out. Alright, get down to the buttons here. You can see these buttons. A lot of dirt and grime kind of crammed up in there from over the years. Also too, along the edges, you'll see a lot of dirt there. It's nice just to kind of take your thumb with the rag and run it along the side there. It'll help kind of clean up all that grime. See, all that got cleaned up. Side of the control. Side of control. Same thing at the edge. Bottom here. Overall, pretty good. We can keep working these keys a little bit. Maybe pop these out. These are really dirty. We'll probably pop those out and get them cleaned up, but that's just a quick way to go ahead and get your Fadal control cleaned up. Are we up? Okay. Hey guys, real quick, I just want to show you too how to get in these hard to reach places just using a good old-fashioned toothbrush. We've obviously used this before. This is not a toothbrush from home. A little bit of degreaser. Don't spray it directly on the controls, but if you want to go ahead and just put it right on the toothbrush, get a little bit of the excess off. It really helps to kind of get on top of these keys and get in those hard to reach areas. See that there? You want to be careful you don't push too much of that back onto the board. It'll really create more problems for you. You want to be careful when you do this. I would just recommend do more up and down versus going into the control. That way you're just kind of putting pressure on the top of the buttons or on the sides. If you're going to do it like that. Wipe some of this down. It doesn't drip down into the back of the keyboard. Just want to be careful doing this. Clean my brush off. That's pretty good there. I'm going to show these last couple keys here another way to do it. It's a little risky using the degreaser, but at the end of the day, you know, it's whatever works better for you and how much time you want to spend on it. Also too, for the toothbrush, what works really good, you notice here if you can get up real close, these hard to reach areas, especially on the back side, you can really kind of get back into those cracks where that's, you know, where that start button is. You can actually get in the face there, kind of get in that little line that you see there. It'll help clean that up real good. Just get all the years of the dirt and the grime out of there. Same thing, we'll do that on the stop button here. Get those wiped off. Make those look like brand new again. And over here on the side, we'll do the same thing for the hand wheel. And those hard to reach areas the rag can't get into. Also too, up on the buttons here, you'll see there's some hard to reach areas. More degreaser. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's really getting all those little last pieces out. Makes it look really, really good. Especially when you're up close and looking at it. There you go, get all the dirt out of those arrows, get that nice original bright white going. Get the dirt out of that little line there in the middle. Nice and shiny, like brand new. Yeah, look at that. Looks good. Not bad for a 15-year-old machine. Alright guys, that's step 2 with Fadal. Okay, and then if you really want to get detailed with cleaning your keys up, this little wire key puller, I've just picked it up off Amazon. There's a lot of different kinds out there. They're pretty cheap. You can prime it. I think I spent less than 10 bucks on it. Pretty simple device. This little guy here, if you really want to get your keys looking good and you're afraid of getting anything on that back board behind the keys, you just slip this guy right in there, gently pop it out, and you can just see all the years of just the dirt and the grime on there. And then what I'll do is I'll grab my rag here and just gently clean it up. Another thing you can do too with my guys is what they'll do is they'll pop actually all the keys out. Take a picture first. Don't forget to take a picture so you know where everything goes back. But if you want to take a picture of your panel, pop all the keys out, and then you can basically wash them in a little small bucket and soak them. That's another way to kind of get the stuff out of the back. But what I do is I just, if I'm in a hurry, you just pop them out, clean them up, looks brand new, and just gently stick it right back in there, and you're good to go. One more. You can just see the night and day difference between here and the one I'm getting ready to pull out. I mean, look at that difference. Again, just a little degreaser on the rag. Get all 4 sides. Get the front again real good. Let's pop it back in. That's it, guys. Alright guys, this is what the finished product looks like. We went ahead and just did a final wipe down on the control. I want to get a real close up here so you can actually see it. But this is the original control. I spent about 25, almost 30 minutes going through it and cleaning it up. You saw the how-to videos. I mean, this thing looks really good. No major scratches, gouges. Really hard to tell it's a 15-year-old machine. What we did is we actually popped off every one of those keys and cleaned them, like you saw in the last video. You can actually... Welcome back. We just finished the entire outside of the Fadal machine here. You can see we got the outside cleaned, we got the back of the machine cleaned, compounded and polished. So it matches the front really, really good here. Front we already showed you. The control has already been finished up as well. We got the doors all cleaned up. Windows look really, really good. Now it's time to actually move on to the inside of the machine. The inside has not been touched yet. The inside of the machine is pretty grungy and grimy from years of use. You can just see just stuff. It's just kind of everywhere. We're going to use some basic degreaser, get it all cleaned up, looking really, really good. Moving down to the spindle itself. The spindle's got a little bit of corrosion on it. Not too bad, but we're going to show you how to make that look nice and shiny by the time we're done. behind there, the cover's actually got a nice little smack in there, so we're gonna have to bend that out and get that looking good again. As well as the table. The table needs a good cleaning. Overall, no major drill marks or scarring. The table looks pretty good, but it's just got a little bit of a hint of years of use, so we're gonna show you guys how to clean that up and look really, really good. Overall, this machine should clean up nice. Here we've already showed you how to touch up paint, get everything cleaned. If you get some of these older machines in, you can see they're kind of like hodgepodge together with these coolant nozzles. A lot of times if you clean these up, they look pretty good, but this one here you can see just, you know, it's got a bunch of stuff on it already. My suggestion is when you get them in like this, or if they look, you know, if they're just mismatched, you can get brand new ones. Amazon, believe it or not, if you just Amazon Prime it, you can get brand new ones in, or just clean the old ones up if they look good enough. But if you can get some new ones, they're not a whole lot of money. You know, a set like this, you're probably under 20 bucks. You put those on, makes the machine look really, really good. So we're gonna go actually replace this one. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these off. We'll keep them as spares maybe for later, but we'll go ahead and get rid of those. That way we can get into the machine and get a little bit more room. So let me go ahead and show you here. We're gonna go ahead and spray, just go ahead and spray a little bit of WD-40 on here. And we're just gonna use a Scotch-Brite pad to go ahead and shine this up a little bit. And get some of the corrosion off. You want to be careful, especially the chrome pieces, because they can definitely scratch. You can actually pop these off with the new replacements, but we'll just leave these on here for the demo for now. In fact, let me grab my rag. Alright, and then we can go ahead and clean all this off pretty good. Alright, so that looks pretty good. And then going to the spindle, you just want to use your Scotch-Brite pad, the industrial kind. You just get in here and you want to go with the grain. So you're going to go horizontally with the spindle. You don't want to go up and down because it'll actually go against it. But we're just going to go with the horizontal here, the horizontal lines, and get this spindle cleaned up. You could also use, you know, they have some, you know, some electrical tools that'll help, but I've just noticed over the years the best way to get this thing cleaned up is just simply doing it by hand. Good old-fashioned elbow grease. And get up here on the column. And kind of see a little before and after. Okay, if you can kind of see in there, you can kind of see where I've already hit it, as well as where I haven't. And we can actually pull this little piece back and get in there. So I'm going to keep working on it after we shut the video off. It's probably going to take a good 15-20 minutes, and this thing's going to look like brand new again. Okay, so we've already finished up most of the inside of the machine, getting it degreased, wiped down, looking pretty good. Now I got some touch-up paint. This is actually just a little 2-ounce bottle. We actually had the Fadal paint matched, and I'm going to show you here a quick little example. So you got, you know, years of use. You know, obviously some paint's starting to chip off, but to make it look really, really good, you know, what we do is we just take this little touch-up and just kind of blend in the chipped areas as much as possible. We try to stay away from repainting as much as we can, and this is a good way to basically make the machine look really, really good again, without being look like it's been dipped in a brand new set of brand new thing of paint. So. A little example here, blend it in. Is the Fadal sticker. Definitely a little worn here. You can see I can get in the film, it's even cracked a little bit. You got years of just grime and grit underneath. Oh, by the way, there's that spindle all cleaned up. Looks good, right? You got the new coolant nozzles on there. Let me focus in so you can see it. Yeah, look how shiny that looks. All that corrosion's just gone. Anyways, back to the sign. There it is there, and here is my replacement. So that's what the new one's gonna look like. So that one's gonna go right there. It's gonna look brand new, look really, really good. So to go ahead and get this one off, it's really pretty simple. I just used a little putty type knife. Gets right up underneath that sticker real good. You can just get in there and work it. I'm doing this with two hands. I'm recording and filming at the same time, so it's a little tough to do both. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. Go ahead and slide it out. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and finish that off film and show you guys what it looks like when we're done, okay? Okay guys, so we went ahead and got the sticker off. You can actually see a real slight outline there. And to put our new sticker on, all I really need is I just need my water bottle, my new sticker, and you can use your credit card. We got this little tool here that works pretty good. But anything with a roll flat surface, putty knife, anything like that will work just fine. So what you want to do is get the surface nice and wet. On these, we had a local company actually make these for us. If you guys need one or need some help getting these set up, we got a bunch of them here. Feel free to call the company, be happy to help you guys out. You peel the back off. There is the line of the other one right there. You want to start from the center. In fact, here I got my level, and let's just make sure it's nice and level. That's pretty good. This is why you do it wet. You want to go ahead and tilt that just a tad. Alright, looks good. So what you do is you start in the center there and you just work your way out and get all the water out. Work your way down. You want to make sure you got no bubbles in there. Get the front wet so it comes off nice and easy. Let's see. That edge from peeling up. Down the excess water. Okay, there we go. There's our new sticker.